Hi, everyone. This is Katrina Van Wick. I'm a health coach here at The Well, and I'm actually going to be joined by our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Frank Lipman, today. So I'm going to wait for him to show up so that we can and tell me he wants to join, and we'll get him on here. And we're just going to kick off talking a little bit about doing in June, which is very soon. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I think Dr. Lipman will be joining. Yay, there he
Hi,
is. We did it. How are you?
good, and you?
Awesome. Thank you. We're doing the technology stuff. This is
I
exciting.
know. Can you believe it? Yeah.
Totally. So super thankful for you to be here. We are obviously going to talk about the Wells Live Cleanse, which is kicking off on June 7th, very soon. And it's our first time doing this as a live group cleanse, like as our whole community cleansing together at the same time. So this is super exciting, and it's such a unique opportunity to have the support of a bigger community, have the support of you. Dr. Lipman is going to do several webinars live with our community throughout those 15 days so that you can have that support, have him as your doctor throughout the process, which is really exciting. I'll also be there supporting everybody along with our health coaching team at The Well. So today we just want to sort of tease a little bit about what this is going to be about, what people can expect, and of course what we think are some of the main sort of takeaways and benefits that people may experience from doing a cleanse like this. One little thing that I want to make sure I mention before I ask you questions, Dr. Lipman, is just that anyone who wants to get their cleanse by June 7th, who still haven't ordered it from us, it's not too late, but we want you to use our code SHIPLIVECLEANSE, all in one word, SHIPLIVECLEANSE. That's going to make sure you get that expedited shipping so that you get your cleanse on time. I'll mention that again at the end as well. So Frank, as I call you, I'd love for you to tell us, I know that you kind of developed this cleanse originally in response to what you were seeing in your practice with working with your patients and your clients. So I'd love to for you to just share a little bit about what made you kind of put together this kind of comprehensive cleanse.
Right. So many years ago, I started noticing a lot of my patients were coming in and they were feeling bloated and they were gassy and they couldn't poop properly and they were tired and they weren't sleeping properly. They had general inflammatory symptoms all over either skin eruptions, joint pains, they're feeling brain fog and tired. And I realized that there was often a common denominator in that the gut was off, that they had either something that we are now calling SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or there was some imbalance in the gut bacteria. And I noticed that when I started taking foods out of their diet that could be pro-inflammatory and giving herbs that were killing these bacteria, people started feeling better. They would lose weight, they'd feel more energized, their gut symptoms would get better, their skin would get better, and even notice that they would sleep better. So what was originally sort of labeled as a cleanse where people would give nutrients to help liver function, I thought just helping liver function is probably not enough. And you need to add herbs to kill these bad bacteria in the gut, which was such a epidemic. And that's how the original cleanse developed, with adding sort of gut nutrients to the cleanse. And then when it came the Well, and I started working with the Well, you at the beginning, we sort of refined it. We sort of refined the herbs a little bit and made it even more powerful. So now we have a particularly powerful way of helping people get their gut right, get more energy, clean up their skin, clear up their brain fog, lose weight, with a simple entry point into this healthier lifestyle. So that's what we do with the cleanse, or this digestive reset, where we change people's diet, remove the inflammatory foods, and add these herbs and supplements which are actually going to support their gut and liver function all in one.
Yeah, and the great thing is with this cleanse, this is not a deprivation cleanse, right? So people can actually eat real whole foods and good quality animal proteins even. And, you know, you will feel satisfied and satiated throughout the 15 days too, which I think is so important to emphasize, because a lot of people have maybe seen other cleanses out there that are just so, the focus is so much on deprivation and starvation,
Right.
if you will. And this cleanse is not at all about that. Yes, you might lose weight, but it's because you're decreasing inflammation and rebalancing your blood sugar and getting over your sugar cravings once and for all, which is like such a freedom feeling once you kind of get over that hump and you're not constantly looking for where's the sugary treats, you know, when you can just kind of go through your day without that roller coaster of blood sugar peaks and valleys. So that's one of the benefits that I personally loved so much about the cleanse. And I'd love for you also to just touch on, you know, you mentioned obviously gut health. And I think a lot of people might think that they only need to do a cleanse like this if they have gut symptoms. But as we both know, you know, a lot of people might have imbalances in their gut, even though they don't necessarily have symptoms that they would typically think of as gut symptoms. So what are other things people might be dealing with low grade that could still mean there's something off in their gut? Oh, I think
Right.
you're a
So I
little delayed.
think, yeah, I'm going in and out here. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's important because not everyone does have gut symptoms, but most people have some imbalance in the gut that needs to be corrected, because that's often the underlying issue with other inflammatory problems, with weight gain even. And actually, you know, as you point out in the beginning, the beauty of this cleanse is it's first of all, it shouldn't even be called a cleanse. I don't particularly care for the
Sure.
name cleanse, but it actually addresses so many of the metabolic issues that we are all suffering with, these epidemics that we're all suffering with, or many of us are suffering with today. And it's not about deprivation. It's just about resetting your body and getting you into a better way. So it sort of starts you on a journey to health. And it's a wonderful way to reset the body or to re-enter a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah, I love that. So I think that's so important to remember. And as people are kind of re-emerging into society and maybe have been added on some bad eating habits and just habits in general over the last year, I think this is such a great opportunity to kind of just give yourself that fresh start and just resetting a little bit and getting off some of those bad food habits you might have, or if your sleep has gotten really off, you know, it's an opportunity to just kind of check in with yourself. How are you really feeling, and reset. So it's such a great tool for that. I'd love for you to actually talk a little bit about, because this is an interesting sort of side effect that I've heard from a lot of people going through the cleanse, is that their sleep improves so much. And why do you think that is?
Well, that's a great point, because I never even thought there was a connection between a cleanse or what we do and sleep, until so many people came to me and said, oh, you know what, I'm doing the cleanse and I'm sleeping so much better. So I'd noticed that clinically years ago, because so many people were telling me that. And then I started exploring the research on the connection between the gut and sleep and the brain. And actually, when I recently wrote my book on sleep, there's becoming more and more research on this connection between the gut and the microbiome and sleep. And it's probably because what happens when you optimize the microbiome, you change the metabolites that are released by the bacteria in the gut, which can affect your sleep. So sometimes when you have an overgrowth of bad bacteria or have this imbalance, these bacteria release metabolites into the bloodstream that go to the brain that can affect your sleep. And it seems like when you do this gut reset, or you do something like the cleanse and you use these herbs and that we have in the cleanse, seems to change the bacterial composition, change the metabolites in the gut, which then affect your sleep positively. So most people seem to have positive effects on their sleep from doing the cleanse.
Amazing. Yeah, it's such an interesting, you know, we know everything's connected, but I think it's one of those like hard ones to wrap your head around. So thank you for explaining. And another one that, of course, a lot of people are dealing with, especially after this year we've had, and a goal that people have is weight loss. And while this is not a calorie restriction plan of any kind, which we don't believe in that. And it's not really a diet. There are a lot of people that do notice weight changes and weight loss after doing something like this. Why is that? What's happening there?
Well, I think there are probably two main reasons why most people lose weight on the cleanse. First of all, we're changing their diet in such a way where we're removing pro-inflammatory foods and we're removing high carbohydrate foods, both of which can affect weight. So not only are we affecting the diet, but the other aspect that could affect your weight is, once again, is rebalancing or affecting one's microbiome. You know, now we know also there's more and more research showing that certain strains of bacteria, or, you know, the balance of bacteria can affect our weight. So there's an effect on weight by dietary changes, taking out inflammatory foods and high carbohydrate foods. But there's also effect on weight by creating more of a balance, or more optimizing your microbiome to affect one's weight. So most people do lose pounds with the cleanse. And what you can attest to, when a husband and wife do it together, men lose more weight for whatever reason it is. Men actually lose a lot of weight on the cleanse. Women, you lose some weight and they get pissed off that their husbands are losing more weight than them. So
yeah, we have seen some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have a cycle, right, and a hormone, so it's just more complex when it comes to weight loss in women. But I think that decrease in inflammation, evening out the blood sugar, finally getting rid of your cravings so that you're not constantly snacking and grabbing, especially high carb or sugary treats throughout the day, it makes such a big difference in losing weight. And also like keeping it off, which is the other thing. It's not just a yo-yo diet and then, you know, you lose it and you gain it. We really want something like this to be a starting point of a long-term change. And the cool thing is, with the Cleanse at the Well, you get a one-on-one health coaching session with one of our health coaches. So you can really also hone in, customize it, get really clear on how you want to go from this starting off point going forward. So you can utilize that session, but I think that's such a unique opportunity to really individualize it and make this work for you and your lifestyle.
I think that's a really important point. Two important points. One is, you know, why is it not 3 days or 5 days? Why is it, 14 days? And that's because, my experience has shown that it takes a little bit of time to get off sugar and to get it out of your system. If you do it for 3 or 4 days, then it's much easier to just get back on the sugar. But when you stay off the sugars and you clean your system out for a good 14 days, it's much easier to then stay off the sugar, because when you start eating sugar again, you feel like crap. And the second part is the support is really important. Having the support from a health coach is really important when you're looking at wanting to stay healthy and continue on a healthy lifestyle. So I think, the length of the cleanse and having the support of a health coach are invaluable.
Yeah, and what we're doing now, this live cleanse, you'll have that one-on-one session with the health coach, but you'll also have our whole community. So we're going to have a Facebook page just dedicated for this group of cleansers. We're doing it all at the same time, where you can lean on each other, share recipes, share experiences, just feeling more like you're part of a bigger community, which I also think really helps with the success rate and just the enjoyment of the whole process, feeling like you have a whole team alongside you. So really encourage everyone to do it live with us so that you can have all of those amazing benefits of having Dr. Lipman here to guide you through it, to have that community, and really getting some extra little treats along the way that they're still top secret, but they're coming. So you have a little bit of extra, like a little motivation and accountability throughout, so that you're a little more likely to succeed, I think. So really, those were all the little things we wanted to touch on. Thank you, Dr. Lipman, for joining us for this little teaser of what's to come. Again, the Wells Live Cleanse is kicking off on June 7th, and Dr. Lipman and I will be joined by Amy Rao for the first live kickoff call. She's our head of Chinese medicine. It's amazing. Also on like the head stuff, the motivation piece. So she's a real gem, and we will be doing that on June 4th. So that's really when we're starting amping up and getting ready, and then we kick off on June 7th, and then it's a 2-week process. And we really hope a lot of you will join us. And if you want to join us and haven't bought your cleanse yet, please use that code SHIPLIVECLEANSE. That'll make sure you get your cleanse shipped to you on time so that you don't, miss out on any days. And if you have questions, email support at The Well or just DM us here. And we're happy to answer those as you're gearing up and getting ready to join us. All right. Thanks for seeing me, Dr. Lipman.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Happy
See you back
cleansing.
online
You'll feel
soon.
better.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.